At just 12 years old, curiosity became the fuel that started an extraordinary journey.
What if I told you a 12-year-old boy built a rocket powerful enough to challenge the impossible?
At just 12 years old, curiosity became the fuel that started an extraordinary journey.
Every great rocket begins not with fire, but with ideas, math, and endless imagination.
Turning dreams into reality required precision, power, and machines that never sleep.
Every joint had to be perfect because rockets forgive no mistakes. Piece by piece, the rocket began to rise taller than anyone imagined.
Stability would decide whether this rocket would fly or fail.
At the heart of the rocket, power waited to be unleashed.
Because when fire ignites, there is no second chance.
And this was only the beginning of something far greater.
Building a big rocket meant every weld had to survive unimaginable forces.
Rough edges disappeared, leaving behind strength and perfection.
Inside the rocket, fuel systems would soon carry controlled destruction.
Without guidance, even the strongest rocket becomes blind.
Every signal, every sensor had to speak the same language.
These fins would keep the rocket steady when chaos tried to tear it apart. Because fire would soon test every decision made here. At the core, power waited, silent but unstoppable. Before flight, the rocket would fly 1,000 times in a computer's mind. Months of effort now stood silently, waiting for its moment.
Before fuel could ever flow, the tanks had to prove their strength.
A rocket thinks before it flies, and this was its first real thought.
Miles of wiring, carrying commands that could never fail. Heat would be the rocket's greatest enemy and its first test. This was no longer just a project. It was becoming a mission. Standing upright, the rocket faced its first real challenge. Every system spoke at once, preparing for ignition. For the first time, fire answered the call.
Every vibration told a story, and every number mattered.
The rocket survived and proved it was ready for more.
At this stage, even a single error could change the fate of the mission.
This outer shell would soon face fire, wind, and extreme pressure. Every mark told the story of who built it and why. Leaving the factory meant there was no turning back. Now standing alone, the rocket waited for its final command.
Every system answered, ready or not.
For him, this was no longer a dream, but a moment of truth.
The countdown had begun, and history moved closer.
Fuel flowed quietly, carrying enormous power.
Everything was ready. The sky was next.
In these final seconds, there would be no more changes.
Fire was no longer controlled. It was unleashed.
Against all odds, the rocket rose. Guided by science and a young East Asian boy's determination.
The numbers confirmed it. The rocket was flying perfectly.
For a 12-year-old, this moment changed everything.
What began as curiosity reached beyond the sky. Every machine rested, its purpose fulfilled.
If this story inspired you, don't forget to like this video and share your thoughts in the comments.
And tell us in the comments, what incredible story should we explore next?